Hi, I'm Shine, and this is Divine Shine Tarot with a CelebriTEA reading on Meg Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson. Will their relationship last, or is it just for PR? And did Tory Lanez really shoot Megan? In this clip from my live stream, let's see what the cards have to say. Remember, these readings are for entertainment purposes only. No facts, no truth, just tarot. Timestamps are down below, and let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hit that like button, and leave me suggestions for readings you'd like to see from me in the future. Now, I ask that the spirit step forward to divinely guide my vision and messaging for this CelebriTEA reading. Let's get started. All right, so enough about Cardi. Let's get back to the list of what else should we chat about. Okay, so Cardi B. All right, so as I said in the introduction of the stream, Meg Thee Stallion, another rapstress who actually, she was on that WAP song that Cardi B did that was very popular, very recognized during the time that it was released. I believe it was right after the pandemic year. So eyeballs were ready to absorb that very sexually charged content, very racy, I should say, very racy and raunchy, sexually explicit content of that song and the video. But yeah, Meg was a part of that song. And as I shared in the intro, she had a lot going on within these past couple years legally, and the relationship that we saw her hard launch this summer with basketball player Klay Thompson raised a lot of eyebrows. Many were happy to see her with what they considered someone more decent than her past romantic partners and flings, but others were suspicious that it may have been a relationship done just for PR, since she still has legal things happening. And when I post the recorded clip of this live stream reading, I'll insert the clip from the intro here for more background on Meg's legal stuff. So they asked if Meg Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson will last. So of the many summer flings that we saw pop off this summer, Meg Thee Stallion, she's a rapstress, and Klay Thompson, he's a decorated basketball player. We saw them go public, do a hard launch with their relationship, and Meg has other controversies in the legal world where I believe it was a handful of years ago, maybe around pandemic, there was a shooting where she ended up injured in her foot, and I believe she said that there was a rapper that did it and he's now incarcerated, but there was a lot of doubt surrounding the case. Remember, Meg lied on the Gayle King show saying she didn't have a sexual relationship with the rapper that she claims shot her, Tory Lanez, but then changed her answer while she was on the stand in the trial to confirm that she actually did have sexual relations with him, which is a big, important missing piece of the puzzle when considering what could be the motive behind a shooting in this case. And this is part of what made Meg look like a liar and manipulator to those that were following the case, further fanning the flames of the conspiracy theory that speculators think this is all just some collusion and orchestrated takedown of Tory for some reason connected to the business interests of Megan Thee label, RocNation. There was a lot of unanswered questions, and there is speculation and conspiracy that the label or management team behind Meg Thee Stallion, which is RocNation, there is suspicion that they kind of strong-armed that case to intentionally block Tory Lanez for some reason. So I will transition from asking about Meg and Klay, if they will last, and if their romance is, as some speculate, if it's true love or if it's for publicity, for PR, to distract from her ongoing legal pursuits. Because even though this guy that she says shot her, Tory Lanez, he's also a rapper, he's a Canadian rapper, even though he's incarcerated, the legal team representing Meg Thee Stallion, and it seems that this legal team is also either connected with or hired by RocNation, they're still pursuing legal actions related to that case, some adjacent case where some bloggers or gossip people that commented on the inconsistencies in that trial publicly online are being taken back to court. So it's just keeping that pot of already boiling water brewing and bubbling. And so it's worth revisiting that, because somehow it's an ongoing theme in our current celebrity and pop culture news for those that follow urban and hip hop news. So with all that background, let's ask the cards. Spirit, will Meg and Klay Thompson last, or is that relationship just for publicity? And a reminder to everyone just joining us, these readings are for entertainment purposes only. No facts, no truth, just tarot. Okay, let's see what the cards have to say. Will Meg and Klay last? Interesting. So we have here the Page of Wands. There is certainly some passion behind this that is genuine, and there is excitement, enthusiasm, There's a lot of potential and motivation to enjoy this connection. Ooh, the Hermit, though. Solitude, single, introspective, someone looking to seek spiritual guidance. I wonder what that means. I'm going to take it to interpret that maybe someone wants to be single or someone's still moving like they're single behind the scenes. Since we got the Hermit card. 3 of Pentacles in reverse. So there are many people involved in the decision for that relationship to move forward. So indeed, it does seem to be at least financially motivated, but in general, we could interpret this card to mean that there is some business motivation behind that connection, but there also is some genuine chemistry and interest, romantic interest as well. 2 of Pentacles. Interesting. So juggling 2 or more things of value. And since we did get this Hermit card where I interpreted this to mean someone moving singles behind the scene, this could mean that someone is juggling between that PR romance versus the PR relationship with their real life. Again, we're getting Pentacles, so something financial, something to do with a business motivation, but also being spread thin. Maybe it may not be sustainable to keep both the image relationship and your real life relationships afloat. Let's pull more cards to get more clarity on this. Knight of Wands in reverse. So this is someone that comes in hot, but because it's so impulsive, it leads to chaos, a very scattered energy. Someone or something that could create frustration, like the situation could create frustration and anger if it's not working out in someone's favor. So if someone does feel that they're spread thin and it's the situation or the relationship and the goals of the relationship may not be sustainable long term, this Knight of Wands can indicate sort of volatility and implosion, that it's just a matter of time before someone acts out and gets fiery. Then we have the High Priestess in reverse, which indicates rumors, gossip, secrets. There's something unknown. So I'm again being taken in the direction of interpreting this reading to mean that indeed there is some secrecy or hidden intention behind that relationship, behind that pairing. It is more business and strategy than truth. And the gossips and the rumors may be intended, like they want that headline of Meg's love life to be circulating instead of her legal pursuits or her team's legal pursuits. They want people to be gossiping about Meg's personal life and her hot bod and the swimsuit line that she released this summer and what a great guy Thompson is to date. You know, they say he has like a cleaner history. So they wanted that narrative out there, but someone may be frustrated or eventually kind of blow up about not being able to keep this secret any longer. We have the 6 of Swords. Yeah, someone eventually is going to move on from that relationship with the 6 of Swords, which indicates moving on from a situation that causes mental pain and distress as a necessary transition to get to peace and mental stability. So these cards so far are indicating what many in the public internet streets, I should say, suspect around the relationship perhaps being just for press. Even though there's a little spark there, ultimately it will not last. And I'll just take one more card out to finalize this reading. Yeah, King of Wands. Someone is going to be really fired up and angry and frustrated. Both of these King and Knight cards in reverse, these archetypes reverse, are personalities that are very, very highly charged. And in reverse, that energy does not go in a positive direction. It's frustration, it's anger, it's stubborn, it's opinionated, critical, combative even. So it's not clear who in that relationship or maybe even in their respective teams, whoever handles their brands and their business may be feeling that. But overall, to answer the question, will Meg and Klay last? It does not seem that they will, unfortunately, but at least they enjoyed popping out for the summer. They went golfing, they shared some juicy kisses. Good for them. I believe they're both Aquariuses, so that seemed like it did have potential. But for those that were asking if they will make it down the aisle, if they will marry, based off of the cards that I just saw, it does not seem so. What's the next question? Let's see. Someone asked, did Tory Lanez really shoot Meg? Interesting, because as I mentioned a few times in the intros of this stream, that is one of the big legal battles that Meg has been involved in and pursuing for these past few years, and it's tainted her image and brand as a rapstress. Some people are also suspicious about her relationship with RocNation, which is a company that JayZ is a part of. He's another rapper. And the suspicion is that there are other motives, personal motives, that either RocNation or JayZ may have in pursuing Meg's legal actions. So maybe using her and her whatever happens to her to pursue other interests around this Tory Lanez guy and whoever else they're currently taking to court. I believe it was a blogger. Again, everything alleged. Well, it's kind of public news that she is, or her team, Meg's team, is legally pursuing this, but I still have to say that all of the commentary and readings that you see tonight are for entertainment purposes only. No facts, no truth, just tarot. So let's see what the cards have to say. Spirit, did Tory Lanez really shoot Meg? Because there was a lot of doubt around that trial. Did he really shoot Meg Thee Stallion? Or is there some revision of history in the way that the trial evidence was depicted? Let's see what the cards have to say. Just energizing them. I like it when it pops out on its own and it's more indicative. Did something flip out? No, not yet. Spirit, did Tory Lanez shoot Meg Thee Stallion? Let's see what flew out here. Ooh, uncertainty and distrust. This card, the moon card, indicates we do not have all the information. We do not have the full picture. So that is exactly what a lot of people felt about whatever. Oh, wow. 10 of Swords. Yeah. All of these cards are indicating no, no, no. This indicates that there was some betrayal and some sabotage in that trial. So again, we're not getting any clarity on if he indeed shot her, even though the jury already made their decision, but many are left with doubts and questions based on the evidence that was presented. And spiritually, the cards are indicating that it's a reasonable doubt. So let's continue. Yikes. Queen of Swords in reverse. So this is, again, dishonesty. This is someone who is very cold-hearted and is insensitive. This is, let me just revisit my notes here because I don't want to waste any time trying to pull it out of my beautiful brain. So this says critical, dismissive, overbearing, overly emotional, cold-hearted, and bitter. So indeed, it seems that there were cruel intentions behind that legal pursuit of that shooting and the uncertainty that has come out of it, or the unclarity, the lack of clarity, and the possible manipulation of the facts of the proof. Again, all alleged. These tarot readings are for entertainment purposes only. No facts, no truth, just tarot. But for those of you just joining us, we're in the middle of a reading where I'm answering someone's question about if Tory Lanez really shot Meg Thee Stallion. So let's continue here. Ugh. The Hermit. Someone is alone on an island, or that was the intention, was to isolate. I think the intention of that situation was to isolate Tory Lanez based off of these cards. We have the Six of Pentacles. Yikes, someone got paid for this situation. This is an exchange, but in reverse, it's uneven exchange, or a paying off of someone for maybe not the best intentions. So it seems like the internet streets were onto something. If whoever had a hunch about something not being right in that case, in that trial, the cards are corroborating that. Three of Pentacles in reverse. Again, there were many people involved in collaborating for this goal, which has business motivation, but it's not exactly positive motivations. We have here the King of Swords. Okay, so this is someone who is very articulate, good with their words, but that person can also be a bit manipulative, maybe even abusive with their power. This is someone in a position of authority that may have helped sweet talk the situation or contributed thoughts and ideas to the situation to advance with the agenda or the motives behind having Tory Lanez locked up. And if you guys in the chat could let me know, I didn't know much about this guy, this artist, Tory Lanez. I understand he's a rapper. He's a Canadian-based rapper, but apparently he was very successful with some independent music around the pandemic. And so for the speculators that feel that there's a conspiracy behind this, I guess they think that because he did so well with his music independently, that's maybe why there is a motive for one of the big music industry machines to want to take him down. Like if you can't, the saying of, if you can't beat them, join them, it's kind of the other way around. If they won't join me, then let's beat them. That's what is being communicated and echoed in the social commentary on the internet and amongst most communities that follow these artists. So the last card here, the Eight of Pentacles. I wonder, does this mean hard at work to continue with this legal pursuit, or is this about Tory Lanez working hard to try to get out of the situation? The Eight of Pentacles is about pouring a lot of hard work, diligence, doing a lot of research, stepping up your skills to try to accomplish some goals and advance with your goals, but usually in career, business, financials. So this could indicate that either his team is working hard to try to rectify this if they believe that there was a lot of dishonesty in that trial or strong arming in that trial. But this could also reflect what I mentioned at the top of the readings, that Meg Thee Stallion's legal team is still working hard on pursuing this legally. So it doesn't really say what the outcome will be, but as far as the question on if he shot her, it seems that there are doubts. There is dishonesty and uncertainty, and there was financial and business motivation that someone paid for things to unfold the way that they have to isolate Tory Lanez in the Meg Thee Stallion shooting situation. Yikes. What do you guys think? Does anyone in the chat even know the music from these artists? I don't really follow them. I know that Meg was on the WAP song, and she had a really popular song around the pandemic with Beyonce, the Savage song, but I don't really know any of her latest stuff. I know she was doing things this year, or was it last year when she was overseas in Asia? She had like an Asian song. Oh, that's right. We saw her last year performing. We saw Meg Thee Stallion performing last year for a Democratic something for Kamala, a convention something. I don't know what they call it, but it was one of her last big, what do you call it? It's a press something, or is it a convention? We saw Meg Thee Stallion twerking it for the Democratic constituents, and touring with some music and reacting to the ongoing scrutiny about her legal team's pursuits against Tory Lanez, because earlier in this summer, he did try to do some sort of appeal. I believe there was a politician that was even voicing her concerns about the lack of consistencies in the evidence of the trial. They even uploaded a whole website to try and lay it out for people, but we haven't really heard much of it since. And the poor guy, actually, that 10 of Swords that we saw here, that may have been him. He was stabbed up maybe like a few weeks ago or a month ago. The poor guy was attacked in jail, and he was about to, I think he was in the middle of responding to a restraining order that Meg Thee Stallion or her team put on him. So just as some appeal news was coming out about him, the coincidence of him being attacked in jail, and then the public scrutiny of Meg Thee Stallion and her team looking to pursue legal action on someone that they've already put in jail. Okay, so I think that's enough about Meg and Tory. Things are still up in the air, but the cards do back up a lot of the suspicions of the public that the legal stuff is funky between them. The truth of what really happened in that shooting is still unclear and does not align with the current outcome. It does not seem that, from what was presented or what we've come to know of the situation, that Tory Lanez should be in jail. And so the cards also indicated that the relationship between Meg Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson indeed maybe for PR. So we will see if we hear anything else about them in the future. They kind of disappeared after their hard launch week, where they were on a red carpet for some foundation that Meg was hosting, a gala event for her foundation, and then a few activities of like golfing and working out in the gym. You know, they were very public on social media with their affection and their what seemed like genuine like and attraction for each other. And then it's been quiet for them ever since. So time will tell. Now let's move on to the next question. Oh, do you guys want to? I don't know. Should I do this reading? So because we're already in this world, in this topic of Meg Thee Stallion, Tory Lanez, RocNation, there was a question that came through from one of the viewers that asked if, it says, is that JayZ's child? I wish you all abundance and illumination. May divine light radiate through your life. Keep shining.